ambassadors say it, it's a different story.
Well, it confirms the smut and the dregs who are posing as our international leaders.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's the worst thing that could happen. It's lifting the curtain in Oz. You know
there's no argument
now you're
there.
seeing it.
Yeah,
I believe
I
this is huge. And there's another element to it as well. And it shows a battle is now brewing between the hacksters and the government. And this thing is spreading in so many different directions. Current events form future trends. And as you well know, we say that all things are connected. Let's look what's going on in Europe as we're speaking. They just started stoning the lovely Prince and Camilla.
Huh. Missed that one.
They just attacked their car. The students are revolting because of the increase in tuition, three times the amount. In Italy yesterday, and for the last several days, the students have been taking to the streets. You're going to start seeing it happening more in Ireland and in Spain. Figure it out. Young people, 18 to 26 in Spain, 50% of them are unemployed. They know the deal. The deal is this. It's called austerity measures. They have no jobs. Their parents are losing their pensions, losing their homes. They just lowered the minimum wage in Ireland. Oh, those wonderful Irish. They lowered the minimum wage. And what have they done? They've raised the value-added taxes, the VAT taxes. Why? To bail out the banks.
Always the same.
The people know what's going on. Class warfare has begun. We wrote this in the Trends Journal over 2 years ago. We said the bailout bubble will bust, and when it does, you're going to be seeing the first signs of the next great war, because when all else loses, they take you to war. And if you want to see how angry the people are, look at those stiff upper lip Brits. They are outraged, the young people. And here, at the same time, they're promoting the royal wedding. This isn't even let them eat cake. It's let them eat nothing.
Right.
And it's going on worldwide. WikiLeaks is only one part of a much bigger story. We're seeing the beginning of a global economic crisis and a global class warfare that's going to lead to the Great War.
I think you've hit it right on the head there. This is a much bigger story than WikiLeaks, and we'll see in the next few months where it goes. The joke of the term austerity has got to be laid to rest and exposed for what it is. This is indentured servitude. There are over 150,000 young Irishmen who are going to leave Ireland because there's no future there anymore. 75% of the British have said that they'd like to leave Great Britain, but they don't know where the hell to go. These people are finished. They're done. Nationalism, yeah, no, they're cooked.
The whole European Economic Union is dissolving.
Agreed.
You can't fix it by printing more fake money.
Well, the British alone is one enormous story, but the Germans are not going to continue to bail out Spain and these other countries. They will not do it. They're calling now for the Deutsche Mark to be reinstated. You're seeing a dissolution of the European Union, which is going to gather steam and momentum. And I, for one, welcome that. I can't wait. It's going to be very interesting, if nothing else. Be back in just a minute with Gerald as we continue. Do visit his website and subscribe to the Trends Journal. It is probably the most important forecasting device that you can get anywhere. It is, as Gerald said, well, years ahead of its time. I remember a couple of years ago when he wrote about these very things we're talking about. Back in just a minute with Gerald Celente. Okay, back with Gerald Celente. Well, the world continues to be, by and large, enraptured with the WikiLeaks melodrama. There's a much bigger story out there, and you talk about a WikiLeaks data dump. What about the Federal Reserve data dump that was forced by Bernie Sanders? I mean, this is a big story. One writer said, let me quote this, "Just when I thought the banksters couldn't possibly shock me anymore, they did. We were just finally granted the honor and the privilege of finding out the specifics. A limited, one-time Federal Reserve view of a secret taxpayer-funded backdoor bailout by a small group of unelected gangsters called bankers. This data release reveals emergency lending programs that doled out $12.3 trillion in your money, folks, in taxpayer dollars, and $3.3 trillion in liquidity, $9 million of which was what they call other financial arrangements. So your money went out the door, a lot of it to European banks, some of it to private billionaires, private individuals. Very little of it went this direction. $3.3 trillion, 12.3 altogether. Talk about theft, Gerald. It doesn't get any bigger. But no one's talking much about that because of the coiffed, bearded Bernanke and his arrangement with the mainstream media. They're not picking this guy apart. He's already threatened the Congress twice when they told him we need to know where the money went. He said no. Sanders was able to get the data dumped finally, and we found out just how corrupt it is. But where's the outrage? I'm not seeing it.
Well, there is outrage, and it's not making it to the mainstream because it's being...
No, they quashed it.
Look where the money, you talked about the trillions that were doled out. Who got some of the money? Who is some of the corporations? Verizon? Hey, how about General Electric? General Electric. You mean the people that own CNBC, NBC, MSNBC? Is there going to be any backlash? Are you going to bite the hand that feeds you? The whole system is rigged. You're not going to hear it on mainstream media.
No,
I can tell you from the work that we do and the feedback that we're getting and what we're seeing, is it happening in America? Yes. Is it happening at the level it's going on in Europe? No. Why? Look at the Americans. They're fast food fattened. They're genetically modified, hormone replaced. Look at that guy who they used to call brilliant, Larry Summers. You could never say his name without saying brilliant.
Right,
Larry
true.
Summers,
yeah.
Larry the Brilliant Summers, or Larry Summers Brilliant.
The brilliant
Obama's
Larry Summers.
former chief economic advisor. You know what he used to do each day? They used to talk about it in the media. With great bravado, he used to power his day. He'd power his way through the day on Diet Coke. This guy's probably his brains fried with aspartame.
Well, certainly aspartame is well known now to be not only a neurotoxin, but it's a mutagenic carcinogen. They've proven that.
So
as
here
well
are the
too.
people that are running the show.
Yeah,
I did a talk, by the way, recently, just when it was in Chicago for the Olympic Committee. And, this was a show. And I was a keynote speaker there. And this is the Olympic Committee. And I'm ready to go on, and I'm sitting with the top people, the COO, the top people. And it's around 10:30 in the morning. And they're drinking Diet Coke.
Well...
And I said to them, I said, what are you people? I said, you're supposed to be representing the Olympians. I said, you're drinking this crap?
Methyl alcohol, formaldehyde.
So why aren't Americans out in the street? Why aren't they fighting? Because they've been beaten down. Has everybody? No. And there's that 20% that we see that's going to be the driving force of change. As we wrote in the last Trends Journal, we're going to see a plague. We call it the obesity plague. You're going to start seeing a lot of people going under as times get a lot tougher. It's going to be a thinning of the herd.
Oh, 2011 is going to be hell on wheels, you bet.
Yes, and the strong are going to survive. And when you go back to the last Black Death in Europe, which an estimated, whosever numbers you look at, between 30 and 62% of the people were killed in Europe from the Black Death, who survived? The smart. The people that knew how to take care of their health. It created a renaissance. It was a time of genius. And we believe we're going to see the same thing happen now. And there's going to be very difficult times coming ahead. The people that are planning ahead are going to be the ones that survive. And they're going to survive by doing intelligent things. And people that do intelligent things make intelligent decisions. They're not following their leaders. you're on your own.
Well, they're not leaders anyhow.
There are no leaders, but they're still following Democrats and Republicans.
Well, they're chasing their tails, Gerald. It's a left-right paradigm of absurdity. It's science fiction. It's a joke. It means nothing. It's a continuum. Look, $12.9 trillion was just fleeced from the American taxpayer. Now, granted, and you made the point, they do not have access to the mainstream media, so they cannot register their outrage. I hope your 20% is correct. I hope to see pitchforks and torches wrapped around the Federal Reserve, which is not federal, nor is it a reserve, as we all well know now. Look, the Founding Fathers are spinning in their graves about now. This is not America.
It's not America. It's fascism.
That's
right.
It's
fascism when you see that Janet Napolitano over there talking to Walmart employees to come rat us out. It's fascism.
That's what she's doing, too. You're right. You're totally right.
You know, it's fascism when you go to the airport, and that's the other one. I was on Fox with that, and I have to say, Fox attacks me when I go on, but at least they give me airtime. The other ones are afraid of me. Isn't it something? Russia TV, I'm on Russia TV at least once or twice a week. Russian TV is more free speech than I get on American
Our TV
TV.
is absolutely more free speech, no question. I had a call from somebody in New York yesterday. He said he had just gone through the airport with those TSA groping pedophiles and perverts, and he said, and this is no joke, he's one of my journalists, he said that there were approximately 500 people he watched. They had a choice. Go through the microwave cooker and become more carcinogenic than you were before you walked through the box, or get groped. He said everybody but him went through the cooker because they just wanted to get to their flight and they didn't give a damn. Where's the character? Where's the intelligence? Dumb down, Gerald.
Look what the people look like, and look at the ones that are groping them.
Totally.
Again, there's going to be a thinning of the herd.
And
by the way, that's what I spoke on Fox and Friends 2 weeks ago.
Good.
And of course, they all ganged up against me, but you'll see it for yourself. You decide what, the outcome. Good. But I made it very clear. I said, what twisted mind in TSA said it's okay for a guy to feel me up?
No, when they had backhand, it was bad enough, but when they gave them the green light to use the open palm grope, give me a break. And I honestly felt, Gerald,